Well, hello one and all, and welcome to our short on side effects. So we've seen that functions are these things in programming languages that take inputs and produce outputs for us. Now we've seen really that there are various kinds of outputs. One of them is called a return value. The value the function gives back to us after it finishes running. But it turns out there's also a kind of output known as a side effect, which is not the return value, but anything else that gets changed while our function is running. So let's take a peek at an example here. Here I have a program called machine.py, representing some machine with some internal emotional state. Notice how up at the top here, I have an emoticon representing our machine's emotions at this given point in time. In this case, it has this particular emoticon representing something like sadness or forlornness. And so we'll see if we can make our machine more happy as we write our program. But ideally, we want this machine to say something to us. And so let's go ahead and write ourselves a function called say that we can then call inside of our main function here. So I will, underneath main, go ahead and write for myself a function called say, using the Python keyword def and the name for the function, say, and maybe say should take as input, as an argument here, maybe something called phrase, the phrase to say. And so by convention, I will indent within this code block here to write the body of my function, the code I want to run when say is called or used in my program. Well, what should say do? I think really to say something, our machine should print something to the terminal. And so we can do that with a Python function known as print, just like this. And what should print? Well, probably the phrase in this case, the phrase we gave as input to say. Now, if we're just using print, we haven't really added much functionality here to the say function. So why don't we have the machine able to say something, but then maybe append the emoticon at the end, so it kind of says something with emotion here. I'll go ahead and say print the phrase, but then also print on a space followed by the emoticon itself up top here. So notice how phrase is really a local variable. It's passed as input to this function say and used within inside that function. Emoticon, though, as a global variable defined at the top of our file here, is able to be accessed by any particular